little bit of an interesting thing coming out there from VP. Just wanting themselves to have some more tower push on top with that Shadow Shaman, I guess.
Excited to see as well how much no one can do on the mid Pango. We see this hero have, I feel like when we see it in the mid lane, it just has such a better time compared to when we see it on the side lane. Like this hero can absolutely pop off with early levels. Up top, RAMZeS going to try and take the rune. We are going to see FY is able to take it away from him, though. RAMZeS not able to quite grab it in time.
So we have seen the Pangos pop off in the mid lane, but it's always that concern, right? He's versus the puck. So see what can happen if you are not wary of that puck coil. Also, I just wanted to talk about XM as well. His Pugna performance in that game was phenomenal. The first one of this series. And this one, it looks like he could be able to do quite a lot here too, being able to just be that tower pressure for his team. And also, he's very annoying for Shadow Shaman to deal with inside the team fights. You drop your wards and the Nether ward is down, you actually pretty much kill yourself. And Roger is just taunting a little bit there with some boot drops.
He's not letting X-Nova get towards that bottom lane. He's making sure that he's kept far away from Arme in terms of trying to keep Arme safe and providing that backup for the Naga Siren as all these body blocks. Solo.
Whoa.
Very nice. Getting a lot of damage down onto Chalice because of that.
I love the item build too. The Blightstone this time on solo. He looks at these heroes. He's like, it's a Doom. Doom has 0 armor. You put him negative. These treants, they can't actually trade too well for them versus them. So you see LGD, they're already starting to just going for the pull. Just got to deal with changing the lane equilibrium so you don't actually lane versus this Nature's Prophet. That was first 2 picked.
Yeah, I feel like we've just seen how, you know, the Prophet support is just so strong. Just how easily you can trade harass and just solo pushing out 2 heroes.
Now look how much he hits for each time with that Blightstone with his treants.
You have 2 heroes trying to poke at him, but he's just going to trade easily back of FY. He's got to be careful. It's so much damage from these right clicks. As FY forced to salve on this top lane. Solo continuing to try to be down. Chalice does now have the level 2.
Oh, they might be able to get him this time.
Yeah, with the stomp, they'll close the gap. And Solo has got a verify. Could try and deny to neutrals, but is he going to get there in time? Scorched Earth should do it, and it will. Chalice gets first blood. They'll put an end to the irritation of Solo.
But look at their Terrorblade's last hits. He caused so much problems there that RAMZeS just gets a full free farm in that top lane as a TB. And he did have to use the meta in the beginning there, but still okay as he gets 10 and 8. Off the start here. So mid lane, we saw the glance there. Should be a bit of a tough time there for no one. He's going to get bullied very hard by XM in this lane.
It's bottom. X-Nova. And Roger going at one another. Arme will be there to back up X-Nova and try and chase down for this kill. X-Nova salving up. Does get another Thunderstrike out to Roger. That should be the kill. He has the 3 stick charges. So that's enough to save him. He'll get himself
1
over
HP.
to the neutrals and will be able to deny himself. Roger.
Actually 1 HP off of that last tick there.
So able to take that at least away from LGD getting that kill. And yeah, having this Terrorblade have this solid start at the top. I mean, as you say, you know, the sort of all parts of the game, the Doom definitely has an effect against the TBs, including the laning stage. So Solo can do what he can to make sure that Chalice can't get entirely in the face of this Terrorblade early on. RAMZeS is going to be happy.
Yeah, it's definitely a scary mid game for the TB. He pretty much can't show up to a lot of these fights. As you don't really see your TB showing up a lot, but he's playing versus Pugna, who's one of the harder counters versus Terrorblade at the majority stages of the game, and Puck and Doom. These heroes, they provide a lot of magic damage, and just the silence versus it.
Solo does get caught out though. He'll die. RAMZeS with the metas, trying to fight back. Doesn't quite manage to finish off FY's. FY's able to hide in the trees. Chalice as well, taking quite a punching. RAMZeS will chase forward, and Solo's back in. TP's forward, gets the hit off. It's enough. Sets up for the kill. RAMZeS with that meta gets that bonus goal from taking Chalice out of the lane. FY will go for the quick trip back to the base.
Picks up his boots afterwards. And here we see this, Radiant attempt at the pull. The hard camp wasn't able to get it there this time, but they're going to keep trying this one. This is one of the big reasons Radiant is very strong, in particular in that safe lane. And they will get the secondary pull, at least on that creep wave. Mid, XM, oh. That's a nice rune. No one's probably not too happy about that one. Regen on the Pugna. Yeah, he gives him a tip. No one even preemptively checked the bottom rune to try to fill up his bottle.
And getting unlucky there with the RNG. Yeah. But VP's lineup, with these 2 cores, having the Brew and the Pango, you can imagine when they hit their 6s, they're going to look to fight. And it's all this sort of chaos and control that they can offer in the team fight so that RAMZeS can sort of stand tall with the meta and push on when it gets to that mid game.
Yeah, it's a it's FY if he's not going to be level 6 by the time they hit the level 6s, right? So he's the one that really messes up their kind of combo there. It also can be Ame, though. The sleep can be something we can look at where he can just sleep and they can just look to reset versus those big ultimates that do come out from the side of VP. Is Ame's getting pressured a little bit here, but we'll be just fine under the tower.
Start to see no one.
He wants to fill up his bottle. Yeah.
Yeah, see if he can do anything with the regeneration of those bottle charges, but no, looks like he's going to just return straight back towards the mid lane. Solo will TP in as well, just get some of the XP as that lane continues to get shoved into the tower by XM. Constantly keeping that pressure on, making sure that VP pay the price anytime that no one leaves that lane.
It's a free farm, full free farm Pugna. I mean, he's level 6 already. Can definitely put some pressure on pretty much any of the lanes. He wants to get this tower probably with this catapult wave, which could be a possibility. We see no one. He's showing up to make sure that can't happen.
Ooh, up top. Trying an attempt on RAMZeS here, diving in underneath the tower. Chalice and FY, they want to commit for this one and they'll get it. Diving in, getting the kill on the TB. Solo, try and trade back onto FY, but a quick phase shift is seeing the attacks flying in, he's out of there. We're
seeing this aggressive style again coming out from the Doom, the skill build in particular that we saw last night as well, going for the 2 points in the Scorched Earth. Maybe even maxing it again. We saw them doing that yesterday, actually, where they were... I mean, it does a lot of damage. It's a different kind of approach here.
This mid tier 1 tower, it's going to go down very early at this rate. As VP seems to have nothing that they can do to really keep this Pugna off the tower. They'll pop the fortification, see if no one can get the deny. It's going to be hard. There are 3 heroes. In fact, no one's in trouble. He has to get her out immediately. So they'll get the tower. No deny from VP.
I think he just goes run top immediately as the Pugna. Just keep putting pressure on the lane. He might have to shrine before... Oh, he actually finds a bottled invis. He'll be able to bottle that invis. But yeah, go to the Terrorblade's lane, try to hunt him, take his tower, and then get the invasive ward so you can keep tabs of where RAMZeS is. They actually do see him down bottom right now with the ward they placed, farming those ancients. So XM, he's looking to just go for this tower here. Solo might actually just be a free kill for him first.
So with the grab fight, the drain is more than enough damage to take out the Prophet. So that'll open up for that space and pressure to be put on that top lane.
FY just soaking experience here.
As already we're seeing how proactive XM's going to be on the map.
Yep.
Shutting down areas that VP are going to want to have hoped to have RAMZeS be able to safely farm in, but losing the outer tier 1 towers, it's going to make the space for this Terrorblade much more limited.
Yeah, he's the key to that early pressure. And already those 2 towers with the first catapult waves. Both of those first catapults take out the tier 1s, and Chalice already having a great game, secures last hit on tower. Top of that net worth by quite a sizable margin, and also full drums now. Phase drum. He can also look to play around with his Pugna. They're just very speedy heroes now, being able to put the pressure on, and they already got the ward down, so they have tabs of where RAMZeS is. Keep almost saying C-Deck because he's tagged up to C-Deck. So it's so close.
I'm going to treat you with his name there. So XM. So far, XM certainly having good impact with the way that he's able to lane. They did give him that favorable match, having the Pango against it. VP will have expected that XM was going to have a good start to the game. They've just got to find plays to sort of get favorable trades in terms of giving that mid lane up. They'll get to push on down bottom. Solo and Roger taking this tier 1 tower, but top lane, they're getting pressure put onto the tier 2. They'll TP back for this.
They don't have deep push on the side of VP at all. So whenever they do set up for these type of plays, they have to commit both ultis to go for XM here. I mean, they need to get this kill.
It is a big one if they can get it. He's going to continue to run away. They'll send him up with the Wind Panda, bring him straight back down into the stun. RAMZeS will come across, and he's not even needed. The 2 of them get the job done. Pasha and no one. With those ultimates, as you say, there are going to be ways that PSG.LGD can put a stop to those fights, but when it comes to finding pickoffs, there's not a lot you can do to hold back the Rolling Thunder and the Primal Split chasing you down.
Ame's okay with this. He's not actually farming that great in this game. He is bottom 5 net worth as this Naga Siren. The pressure that came out from the Brewmaster as well as that Shadow Shaman. That makes sense. Shadow Shaman is one of those super strong laners that just gets those denies and really messes with the carries farm all the time. Surprising to see it so slowed down, at least from Ame. They'll start to catch up. That's the, when you have this type of skill build on the Naga Siren, you just send your mirror images and they can do the work for you with that Riptide. Pasha, Vlad was finished up earlier, but no brew split now. But oh my, Roger, we'll be okay. XM just wants to take out this last tier 1, that's why he's parked down here. They're even rotating the rest of their heroes. They have the level 6s on the supports, they don't just yet. both the Disruptor as well as the Puck on LGD. VP also not having their 6s on their supports.
Yeah, not really in VP's best interest to try and answer to this tier 1 push. Just try and find as much as they can in the other lanes whilst PSG.LGD are grouped up down here as 4.
Yep.
They have no one continuing to push out the middle lane. Top lane, Solo's able to find a bit of farm as well. We'll try and get some pressure onto PSG.LGD's top tier 1 tower. Still, it's certainly the game plan rolling out. PSG.LGD taking all tier 1 towers at the 10-minute mark.
Yep. XM is, I mean, he's doing it like it's this cookie cutter, you know, lineup that you, or cookie cutter play coming out from the Pug. And he's just like, okay, first catapult wave mid, first catapult wave top, go bottom, take out that last tier 1. They have this deep vision up. They can keep looking to make plays onto RAMZeS when they know the Bruce Split and the Pango ult are down. But instead of making a play there, they go for an objective.
And no one standing on the high ground there, eyeing up if anyone does end up walking in.
They've got
smoke from Solo and Roger. They want to try and set something up around this mid lane.
We have a couple 6s coming out now. The supports, we see FY on the Puck is 6, and also Solo on the Nature's Prophet. I think the FY Puck one, though, is much larger because they just have this crazy amount of team fight now that comes out and just nullifies the Pango's potential. And now they even have X-Nova, too. We don't have the Shadow Shaman at level 6 yet, though, on the side of VP. Oh, yeah, sorry. He just hit it. Sorry, he just got the tome.
Smoked up. And set up around the mid lane, but PSG.LGD not yet gearing up to try and push him for a tier 2. They're happy to reset. They know that they've got this early sort of gold off the map by taking those early towers.
And Ame is just going to be able to get that farm faster and faster as he gets those levels on Naga Siren. And his Doom and Pugner are just doing great. They don't have Song to be able to clear out these wards, but they do have a lot of ranged heroes to attempt to do so. And they will actually take them all out, the Glimpse.
Just catch Roger in the kinetic field. XM stepping forward. No one's going to be there. Turns with a swashbuckle. Roger gets nuked down, though, by the orb. Now no one's trying to strike back. Jumps in with the rolling thunder, but there's the coil holding this Pango in place. They're still coming in with the primal split. They're on top of X-Nova. They'll find at least the disruptor kill in return. Back towards the river. Chalice tried to go in on Solo, but Solo turns with the Sprout. The Metamorphosis up as well from RAMZeS. Diving past the tower. It's 2 more kills for no one. Chalice, he's got to be careful, too. He's very low. Swashbuckle's going to be back up in a second. In he goes. Silence the clap from Pasha. VP, they take 4. And RAMZeS, he doesn't die. He did get doomed, but he was able to live through it. And now they push on with the remainder of that Metamorphosis and at least take this tier 1 tower mid.
They don't have anything to do with this Bruce Split. Pasha just did so much. Solo actually doing the most damage in the fight, but Pasha was able to pretty much zone everything. You saw Chalice, he got the Doom off, but he's not able. He doesn't have any backup because of this Brewmaster that just zoned the entire team of LGD. They don't have the way to deal with it at all.
Yeah, the team fight at this point is just so strong from VP. Yeah. And off the back of that favorable fight, that's going to be the Midas picked up by Pasha, so he can now accelerate into these bigger items as he scales on.
They need to pretty much get this Doom on this Brewmaster for them to win these team fights. That was without, you know, Ame really, he can't really contribute too much. In comparison, VP,
not at the moment.
Their heroes can actually contribute. You know, this Naga Siren doesn't really want to fight until a bit later on. Until what? Like it's still the Diffusal Manta build, I'm assuming, right? I actually didn't get to see the one game that Ame did play it.
He's got the 3 Wraith Bands, and yeah, he's queuing up the Asher, so I'd imagine that's the way that we've seen at least definitely some of the other players when they do play the carry Naga Siren. On top lane, PSG.LGD, again ready to look back towards that tier 2 top as XM shoves in the top lane. So it does feel like every time that the PSG.LGD go for these moves, trying to push what they do find Roger.
How did Roger get there?
And, well, but however he got there, he's certainly not getting out the same way as they'll finish him off. I say that. Taking them quite a bit of time.
There we go.
They will get him as Roger goes. But it's every time we see PSG.LGD group up and go for this, they have 4 heroes here. And you can see the net worth difference. VP have a 1k lead despite losing all those tier 1 towers early on. It just feels like VP, they're getting a lot done individually across the map when they know exactly where PSG.LGD's lineup is.
Yeah. They're able to get this deep vision constantly from the Nature's Prophet, which is kind of unsuspected. You see he already has like pretty good vision actually of whatever LGD wants to do, and that gives RAMZeS just a great time. And now they've got the Bruce Split available again for VP, and they've got the Pango ulti, so they can look to take fights versus the side of LGD. Now they do have Ame with Sleep though. That's a bit of a difference maker because now he can actually get involved to set up for Static Storm. Because in that last fight, you know, the coil went out on top of that Pangolier, but then X-Nova just walked into melee range and started the Static Storm that didn't really do much at all inside of the fights.
Now, I want your thoughts on this one. Ame, he's got the Midas on the Naga Siren.
I went for the Midas this game.
Are you a fan? Be honest with me, Fox.
I don't like the item at all in particular, so not the biggest fan here. Maybe feeling like he wants to be able to get these levels and everything to keep up. But now that's just going to make him delayed to be able to join the party at all.
Sure, I mean, I guess it says they want to play the late game, but there's a Terrorblade. I mean, the rest of his lineup, they're ready to go and push. The Pugna's going, the Doom's going. This Naga Siren's not going to be going for quite a while.
Yeah, no.
He's playing the long game, Ame. We'll see if it pays off.
He is going to go back for the normal build afterwards, but yeah, this is going to delay it a little bit here. It's not even the fastest Midas ever. He went for it after his Tread triple Wraith bans. Maybe just wanting. I think it has to just be for the levels for him to get those, like.
I guess so.
Yeah. I mean, sure, it provides you that extra farm, but they've got the blink on Chalice. This is actually pretty crucial here for LGD to be able to get, and if they can find the Brewmaster, that's the most important thing for them. The smoke is out from VP at the moment.
PSG.LGD. See if they can get Chalice in on top of the target. As long as Pasha stays.
They got vision now. That smoke wears off. They have the high ground vision here.
They've got to be careful with that Bruce positioning.
They're going to back off.
Yeah, they know that this is given time for PSG to prepare for Chalice will jump forward. He's able to come through the trees, and that's going to be a commitment onto Solo. Primal Split's able to come out, and no one has the Rolling Thunder. Good to go for the side of the Static Storm and the Doom. Everything thrown down onto the Pangolier to stop him from getting that Rolling Thunder off. The Dream Code down onto two of them, but now the Sprouts out to Chalice. They'll burst him low with the Illusory Orb. Will no one survive through this damage? He's still alive for now. Back towards the lane. Ame has turned up for the fight. Infernal Blade down onto Roger. They'll kill off the Shadow Shaman. Solo healed up by the Meg. The Song of the Siren coming out. Ame's going to be able to moving on to the two of them. Nova's very low. They do have the Stomp and the Orb coming in. They'll burst down a second here. RAMZeS now has to be careful. He's got to run. They're jumping forward with the Blink, the Scorched Earth, the root from Ame. They're holding down the Terrorblade. He has got a Sunder. Can he get it off? He cannot. That's going to be a dead Terrorblade. Pasha still trying his best to rectify this fight somehow for the side of VP. He's running down Ame. One more hit will do it, but the Infernal Blade holds him back. He'll go for the TP, but the Stomp's there to cancel it. VP, they're going to lose Pasha here as well, as he cannot escape. PSG.LGD running them over there in that fight. Everything thrown down onto the Bango at the start. It pays off. No one can get anything done. Wasn't able to get the Rolling Thunder off in time. And Ame turns up and it pays off big time. Getting that Naga Siren involved, and he stays alive.
And they did a great job of just kiting out VP there. The Bruce Split's used, but by the time that the fight progresses, it just wears off. It's such a long duration fight, and yeah, no one wasn't able to contribute anything inside of that fight, and we see a full swap. VP had all three top net worth of their cores. Full changeover now for LGD, and I mean, the Midas is now absolutely worth it because of that whole fight that just happens. He was level 10 when he got that Midas, now level 13 after the fight with the Yasha finished up. So can't say anything against it now after the fight goes in his favor.
Absolutely not. He didn't need that 2k gold invested anywhere else. Ame knew.
Clearly not.
3 heroes now on top. Still very close. Just a 1k difference.
Definitely he's feeling a bit scary, as you know, this is like these long cooldowns that VP has. They use their Bruce Split. They had RAMZeS use his meta and show up to the fight there, and they weren't able to take it at all. Because no one really has to be careful not to get coiled. If he gets coiled, he's gonna get follow-up doomed. It's one or the other. Like we were saying, the lots of different forms of silences and control versus that Pangolier as well as that Brewmaster can definitely be problematic.
Just what I need.
And during that whole chase too, we see LGD, they were able to place down that deep vision as well. So they have tabs inside of that VP jungle if they do want to make any plays up there. They don't really have anything to get out of it though besides kills. We see there's, they've already taken out all those towers early on. And RAMZeS, he's gonna be going for that SNY again. So these silences, they're gotta be really damn annoying for him. He gets caught inside that Static Storm, he has nothing to protect himself with. Unless the Sprout pushes him out or something crazy like that.
Up top, Roger will drop the Serpent Wards. He's able to get the tower. We'll see PSG.LGD try and chase down Solo. He'll hide with the Sprout. He's been Dream Cold, not a lot that he can do to get out of this one with the 3 heroes hunting him down. So Solo will fall.
Oh, it looked, that Centaur stop looked like it should have hit him. It was like, I guess just on the edge if it wasn't able to. The silence, Ame.
Yeah, no one's going to chase him with the Rolling Thunder. As no one got back up, he has coming in for the jungle. RAMZeS has the reflection. He gets the Song of the Siren out. And with that, should have time to run away, even with a swashbuckle. I don't think no one would be able to chase him yet. No one knows. He can't go for that. So Ame able to escape just in time. They just couldn't get any sort of further disable in on top of that Naga Siren before the song comes out. Pasha continuing to farm very well, of course, with the Brew, considering the timing he got that Midas at. Pipe's going to be done. He's going for the blink into the Radiance, making sure that he has scaling potential continuing at all stages of the game.
I like the pipe a lot. They're building 2 of them. You look at the side of LGD, they're all magic damage. Every single one of them. Naga Siren doesn't become physical for a long, long time.
Solo up top. We'll get caught out again.
He's got a hood.
He has got the hood. Let's let him live a little longer. Sprouts up Chalice. Chalice able to cut his way out. Solo will get the Nature's Wrath down. PSG.LGD will be able to finish him off. Down bottom, Roger. He's got eyes on Arme. Does also have Pasha close by.
He's got the Aether Lens too, so he's got that long distance that he
They want to try for this. They have got the Primal Split. If they can get the Disable off, they know that he hasn't got Song of the Siren.
Still pretty tanky though. If he's on Strength Charge, it's 1800 HP. They're actually popping the Primal Split immediately.
Yep, they know that they need every bit of damage. There's the Hex. Into the stun from the Split. Jump forward, especially with no one. They've certainly got this kill as they'll catch out Arme.
Nice little stalking play there coming in from Roger.
An instant move to try and make something more happen.
Can they sneak into a rush here? They have Serpent Wards. They've got the Metamorphosis as well available.
Without the Song of the Siren for 40 seconds, it could be appealing.
Do they have a medallion? Does Solo have it finished? He didn't actually go for it this game. He's got the Blightstone.
They're gonna try.
It's a little bit of minus armor, but
they're straight in there. I see PSG.LGD do anything about this. They've got the Dream Core, you've got Rod of Atos on FY.
He's starting to feel like he knows this is up. He's looking at the lanes, they're not reacting to top at all.
FY senses are tingling. Roshan's falling very low and they can't do anything about it. RAMZeS is able to pick up the Aegis and VP. Very quick-witted play. Getting that kill on the Naga Siren, and you saw it literally as Arme died. Smoke up and a beeline for Roshan.
So, I mean, Shadow Shaman, this is the reason why, in particular, Fnatic is first 2 picking it. It's such a priority for them. He provides you so much. It's strong lanes, disables, gives you rush, gives you objective taking. The hero really does provide pretty much everything.
And Arme, Manta done. Diffusal's going to be the part where he's going to really be that threat in the fight. So at the moment, of course, he can disrupt a lot with the Song of the Siren. Once that Diffusal's there, he can really start to hit back. Pasha, blink, nearly done. It's going to be pretty huge for him, allowing him to sit back and not be worried, he himself at least, about being doomed or static stormed before he's able to get a Primal Split off.
Yep. They still have to be careful, though, of... The thing is that there's still a combo. Arme still hasn't been able to show up. They haven't gotten the combo off, but they still do have the potential of it if they get the sleep into this Disruptor, which is super threatening versus the lineup of VP till they get those BKBs. Arme starting to steal Ancients from the opposing side. Oh my god, I just looked at LGD's jungle and saw these wards. Oh my god, look at these sentries.
Look how many sentries.
They don't want to be under any vision of VP, and they kind of expect it. You're playing versus this Nature's Prophet of Solo. He just can just freely put down these wards, without him having to walk there. He just TPs and puts them down. So,
I mean, hey, it's working. You know, there's no obs on LGD's half of the map.
It's so weird it's so funny how they placed it. Look, it's like this perfect line. Is Solo trying to get a ward out. It will be spotted, and he will be taken out.
Solo definitely being sort of the sacrifice there a lot of the times, which I guess, you know, this is the life of the support prophet. As long as you're pulling sort of the distraction and making sure that your Terrorblade can continue to farm. RAMZeS back into the top jungle, trying his best to keep on pace with this Arme Naga Siren. But as we say, it's, you know, it's a Naga Siren with the Midas. Arme is going to have that edge in the slow-paced gameplay.
Yeah. No one is starting to fall pretty far behind on this Pango. 9,700 net worth. I mean, we're seeing Roger actually catch up to him. This Shadow Shaman, I think, almost has a BKB finished after that Aether Lens. There are ways to stop him if they throw the Doom on him, but he's going to have some pretty nice control if he just BKB grabs somebody.
Because do you really want to Doom the Shaman?
Yeah, exactly. He does die relatively fast still if he gets like focus fired by this Naga Siren if they get on top of him.
Because I mean, for the show, once he has the BKB, who is he looking to just BKB and just hold down? Is it the Naga Siren he goes for every fight, just to make sure no sort of song can come out from Arme?
I think it just depends on the positioning. It could be the Doom in some situations. It might be the Pugna. I think just one of the cores in particular. But if he can get the puck too, then it can give no one a lot of free reign inside the fights. Then he can actually look to get the Rolling Thunder off and not worry about that coil. So yeah, I think it just depends on the opportunity he sees.
Look at the second pipe done. Solo has his complete. But as we just saw there as well, Arme has that Diffusal Blade. So Manta, Diffusal, Naga Siren ready to go, ready to fight.
Yeah, a bunch of item timings coming together. They've also got the Blink now finished on Puck after that Atos. Blink on Doom with the Shivas.
But there's sort of the biggest BKB. At
That's
least
the biggest
RAMZeS
one.
having his done. He will be able to react as long as he doesn't get doomed. You know, still have the chance to play against the Static Storm, get the BKB Sunder off.
He's still got like a minute and a half as well on this Aegis for now. And oh, okay. So it's a BKB also being queued up for Ame. Just wanted to not have to deal with this Brewmaster in particular, I'd imagine, as Chalice.
The TP in. He's going to jump in onto RAMZeS, not wanting to commit anything, of course, with the Aegis still being there on the Terrorblade. On the side, the Primal Split will start to control Ame. RAMZeS moving in as well. We'll see if they can do anything to follow this up. Sun's going to take the life for Chalice. Chalice, he's cutting the Sprout, will be able to cut his way out. At the same time, no one rolling in with the Rolling Thunder. He has the control onto Ame between him and Pasha. They lock down the Naga Siren. That's going to be Ame dead, and as well, X-Nova found as well as Pasha. It's this Primal Split Rolling Thunder combo. If VP get it off without any disruption from PSG.LGD's side, it's an easy team fight.
I think the coil just missed the Rolling Thunder as well there. He was trying to clip him, I think, on the edge of it and wasn't able to get it.
And now that Serpent Ward's on the high ground.
Uh-oh.
As the tier 3 starting to fall, still good timing with the Metamorphosis left. RAMZeS can push on. As it'll at least be the tower going down here on the bottom.
Yeah,
If VP want to try and poke for any more.
I think you back up. You're versus Disruptor. You take this tower. You take what you can get. If you make an overextension, you just start getting glimpsed back, and you get super punished without your ultis. And like we said, they need these ultis to take the fights. 2K advantage. Great momentum there for VP. Yeah, it's like you said, this Bruce Blood plus this Pango ulti. If LGD doesn't have tabs of them, and this game, it's not like they have the Spectre to keep this vision always constantly when they want to execute the fights. They have to try to find these guys in the back lines, and that's probably on FY to find them in the back, which is quite a tall order to ask for.
And this sort of pace again, the Shaman's going to get items. Roger has the BKB in. Now, of course, looking towards the Aghanims. That'll be his next goal.
And 15 talent, so he's got that extra the cast range. So look at that. Yeah, look at that Hex cast range. It's beautiful. So FY's game, pretty difficult too. Playing Puck versus these instant disables is never very fun.
As you say, because so much of PSG.LGD's damage output is magical, it's like, sure, they can't really stop him from going for a shackle whilst the BKB's up. They also can't really kill him that quick. And if they do, it's going to be obvious the commitment, and VP are going to be able to react. Just coming in with the Rolling Thunder as such and being able to separate any target away from this going on the Shaman.
Mm-hmm. These type of games are really interesting because of like it's just so much on these initiations. It's just like, oh, if they blink doom this Pango, if they blink doom the Brew, bam, you're gonna see like the disengage come out from VP. On the other side, LGD, if they get jumped on by these two ultis, it doesn't seem like LGD can really take the fights unless they're able to like kite it out. If they're able to kite out the duration of the Primal Split and Rolling Thunder without losing too much, then they can turn it around. Seeming difficult at the moment though. Ame's BKB, when he does get that, is going to help a lot, because then he doesn't have to worry so much about being isolated by Pasha constantly. And XM, you know, we talked about his Pugna a lot in that first game. This time he's having a bit of a quiet one. He's taken all the buildings, but as for really putting and posing a threat inside the team fights, it's not too much available for him there.
Taking the tier 3s, they can go for sort of the easy pressure and onto the shrines.
They don't even have to commit anything for the shrine. Solo is actually the one just killing the shrine while the rest of his team just farms up.
He can just clean up that extra bit of gold sitting on the map. Top lane, PSG.LGD, they will shut the wave right up to the high ground, but unlikely to want to go for any sort of high ground attempt. Further than that, is still hanging behind. Ame wanting at least that next item done before he tries to commit for the fight again.
And they still have their 3-course farming so well. Like this Naga Siren top net worth, the Doom and the Pugna keeping up too. But like we said, it's really so much on the execution of the team fights and who gets these jumps. They're starting to get these BKBs though on LGD, which is going to make it a lot easier for them to deal with that Primal Split and Rolling Thunder in particular.
So he's 4,200 gold built up after his BKB. Satanic. It's going to be next, at least in the moment of what he's queued up. Yeah, he's bought the Reaver. So starting to get very beefy on this Terrorblade.
Can help him if he does get doomed, right? So if it's the status resist, he gets doomed. It only lasts pretty much like half the duration as usual. Same thing with the majority of the other spells, like coil and whatnot.
Ame, yeah, with the BKB done, it's time to get the right click up.
Yeah.
Butterfly. It's going to be next on the Naga Siren's list.
It's quite a bit of a farm game here. Both teams just pushing out their lanes, their side lanes constantly, and it's LGD having to address these lanes a lot because of Solo. He's been using his ulti pretty liberally. But that will be The next BKB for LGD, now they're probably looking to take a fight. I think you set up for that next Roche. They already have the wards actually placed very nicely to be able to watch where VP does venture outside the base when that Roche does respawn. So VP could be in some trouble here since they're under pretty much full vision, and bam. Immediately that vision is able to spot out a smoke.
The question is if PSG.LGD avoid this or they try and set it for a counterplay. They're grouping up around their own shrine.
They have the BKBs, right? I think they can take this fight.
I think they want to try and indeed get that jump.
They need to wait for Chalices. It's coming out on the courier. Send some illusions into Scout. We have those bounty runes coming up, of course. You see Solo TP's bottom. He's able to claim them the extra 2 bounties.
Looks like nothing will come of the smoke, at least for now, for VP. They don't find anyone sort of out on their own. They're going to realize that PSG.LGD knew.
Yeah.
And aren't going to make any sort of crazy move up onto the high ground of PSG.LGD's half of the map.
Now we see that BKB delivered. Have to imagine LGD's making a move. Their lanes are still in an okay spot, but they're, oh man, they're constantly being stalked by these little treants of Solo. Yeah, there we go. A double BKB.
Let's see if theirs is a little more successful in finding some action.
It's double BKB, and they have great vision. So they spotted no one coming out here. No one. Has to be careful.
Jumped on. There's the Doom. Straight down onto the Pango. RAMZeS is going to head in, but whoa, he just gets shredded. They get the glimpse back as well onto RAMZeS. He does have that BKB ready to pop. He'll pop it now with the meta. They're trying his best to turn. The Song of the Siren isn't going to affect him during this BKB as he keeps hitting on to Chalice, but Chalice still is able to get out of there. Arme, he's got to be careful. The Song now ends. They're on top of him with the stun. No one's back in with the Rolling Thunder as he's brought back for this. Arme puts the BKB trying to get away. Shield crash forward from no one. We'll see if they can catch any of these heroes. Another shield crash up to the high ground. He's chasing, but they're back towards the shrine. PSG.LGD. FY will jump back across to help them. They're now left for the route onto no one. No one's going to be careful. He did buy back for this one. Look at the glimpse up. No one.
Oh, no one.
He needs help. He needs it now. Get the shield crash off. But the BKB committed by Chalice. But that's no one dead for 90 seconds. Up to the high ground. Chalice. He's got to lock down onto another. Roger getting slammed down by the Infernal Blade. But Chalice, he wants something bigger. He wants the Terrorblade. They're able to root RAMZeS. RAMZeS still punching back pretty hard here with that Metamorphosis. In fact, X-Nova, he's just going to get taken straight down. He's still moving forward for more here. FY will be able to jump away with the orb. The Metamorphosis now ending. Roger comes in to help RAMZeS by his side. They get the Hex off onto Arme. Jump forward from Pasha. Pasha goes in with the clap. They're looking towards this, but Chalice is back. He cancels the shackles with the Infernal Blade. FI jumps back across the silence under the Dream Coil onto the 3 of them. RAMZeS, he gets the Sunder off though, back up to full health. He'll try and chase down XM. They got the reflection off as well, but the Song of the Side is there once again. Chalice, Arme, FY, what's the plan? Arme's getting out of there. They're all just booting it out of there, making sure that they don't hang around and slip up anything back towards VP.
Whew. What a series of events there. That fight lasted a minute and almost a full brew split duration, or the whole cooldown as well. Been able to get no one twice, though, as he does use that buyback. That was, I mean, great execution there from LGD. You see the BKBs come out, they get this long duration shackle from the Shadow Shaman, but this sleep, that disengage, that's what we were talking about. If they're able to survive long enough to deal with that brew split and just kite it out, then they can look to take the fights and turn it around. And yeah, they sustain through it.
Well, we are certainly sort of seeing the late game potential of the Terrorblade though too as well. That was a point where sort of RAMZeS was left alone, but he was starting to hit very hard with that meta. If he gets sort of that right click item on top of all these defensive ones that he started with, like the butterfly, you've got to be careful as PSG.LGD. When he moves in, gets the BKB off before the Song of the Siren and has the meta out, he's going to kill any core before the BKB runs out.
I think they got a bit of split up there too. I think it was I think they were like expecting to go for that kill on the Terrorblade, and XM actually went for the Shadow Shaman in that fight. So RAMZeS was able to hold his ground because the Pugna is really the big threat for him still. Just that damage that can come out from the Daggons and whatnot.
Roshan is up. Both teams will want an eye on that.
Everything should be back up, right? Yeah, pretty much everything on everyone. And oh, look at that. Solo has his own Lotus Orb, so being able to protect a little bit versus those silences, maybe even reflect the Doom.
Just keep Terrorblade safe at all costs. They can keep RAMZeS alive around them. The fight will go well. They've now got that Radiance pick up on Pasha.
That's going to help. I mean, the Naga's damage is going to be really limited from that one too. And even just canceling these blinks can be very useful when he's inside of that Primal Split if he's not actually hitting anybody. Should provide them a decent amount more damage inside the fights.
Dire are scanning.
Still very close, and you see just the fact that Arme and RAMZeS continuing to be right next to each other when it comes to farm.
Yeah.
20k on both of the cores.
Roche becoming just, I mean, it's always pretty much the most important thing, but
we'll see. Arme does win the Butterfly Rush. He's got it first. The Butterfly is still about a 1,300 gold away for RAMZeS. At this rate, though, I guess he's got the jungle to clean up. He might not have it before the Roshan fight kicks off.
Yeah. I know they still have the bottom lane to address too, so that's a, always great thing about having this Nature's Prophet is you can buy your team some time to be able to finish up that next item if you do want to. But LGD might, I think they just look to take this fight. You look to fight before that Roche. Do they have any good vision here? They have one ward outside of the pit on just inside that river area there. So they don't actually see anything from VP just yet. Bounty's coming out.
The seeds of fortune.
They did see him for a second there, so now they know where that brew is. They are smoked.
Question is if they can catch anyone out with this. Who are we seeing at the moment near them? Pasha and No One the closest. Already leaving the jungle. I know that it's likely that this sweep is going to be made by PSG.LGD and Pasha and No One. They'll play it safe, get back towards the rest of their teammates. So No One is going to get caught out by this smoke.
Very limited vision right now for VP. They just have that one ward on the bottom side. All these sentries being bought from LGD. I mean, this map is just riddled with sentries from this Disruptor spending pretty much all of his gold on them. Poor Xnova. But we've talked about how important this game is, like who gets the jump, who gets the counter initiation off. So that's why you see this vision being addressed so highly in this game.
Yeah. I said sort of the big thing is, VP just getting the BKBs off before the song is there and getting the kills during those BKB usages. Otherwise, after the song, you can certainly expect PSG.LGD to come back in, hitting hard and turning the fight around. RAMZeS has got his item done. The butterfly is complete. As both teams, well, PSG.LGD more so just trying to find something, find some sort of a pick-off that opens them up for the chance of going for Roshan.
Yeah, they're just trying to control this whole area right now. We have Pasha now with that extra HP on his primal split, so he doesn't have to worry about it dying at all to that Naga.
A little bit of a poke there on RAMZeS, but you could tell that PSG.LGD, they know that the entire lineup's hiding behind this Terrorblade. There's no way that RAMZeS is out alone.
Both teams are doing like the exact same thing right now. Just it's all about this Roche. The one thing that VP does have, like we said, they can keep these side lanes pushed out. They can either send illusions from RAMZeS if it can make it there in time, or just solo, just constantly ulting.
FY's got his Aghanims.
He's got it finished already, huh? Okay.
So much control. Outside and during BKB's going to jump in.
Jumping forward.
Gets it onto the two of them. The primal split's going to come out from Pasha. We're going to see Pasha try and chase down, see if he can catch anyone out. He's able to send the puck up into the sky, bring him back down into the Hex. The Shackle BKB from Roger committing. Do they have the damage? They no one got the Rolling Thunder off in time. The Song of the Siren isn't going to save FY. Gets the phase shift off. Up to the high ground. No one does get another bounce onto Arme. FY is out of there because of that song. They're sending all backwards. They're retreating. Wards, of course, was dropped for this, but at the same time, Song of the Siren was used, so was the Dream Coil, so both teams trading some ultimates, but not trading any lives. Everybody stays alive.
More costly ultimates for VP. They kept the meta, though. That's the one good thing. RAMZeS did hold his ground for a bit there. Yeah, this disengage, this Naga Siren. They do it quite beautifully there. Yeah, they're checking for the wards right now. They have the gem picked up on Solo. Full refresher now on Doom.
Double Doom.
Oh my. Has the mana as well, since he has that Shivas. If he gets the double Doom off in the fights, this is going to be so hard for VP. Again, these initiations, it's going to be so much. Now they have to catch the Doom. But the fights are feeling harder and harder for VP to take as we see the way LGD can just kite out that primal split.
Into the pit they go. Arme's going to start hitting away at Roshan.
They don't kill Roche that easily. It's just, I mean, he's the only physical damage aspect on their lineup. Puck.
He gets caught out in the mid lane. They're in. I mean, Roger again. These BKB commitments with the shackles. There's just nothing they can do in response.
There's no buyback either.
He's just dead for a full minute. VP are surely going to want to try and take the fight now, where it's 5 versus 4. Or at the least, just make sure that PSG.LGD don't get the Roshan. As Arme knows, he's already out at the pit. He knows with a number of advantage, VP have a very solid chance of taking the fight. They're going to go.
Yeah, they're about to have primal split, so that's when they're like, okay, now we're really strong when we have this. RAMZeS might just commit forward into that pit.
Does he want to pop the meta and go for this?
Doesn't need to pop the meta.
I guess he doesn't with the butterfly, yeah. But they do enough as it is. You can save that for the counter play. If any sort of jump comes in, Arme's outside. That's the song. Solo will put the sprout. They're going to use the song here. See if they can get into the pit. If Chalice can get some dooms down, He's getting the server
getting
wall.
hexed.
He can't get in.
He didn't get his BKB off.
Roger, he set him up for. Oh, he's done Roger. This Shaman just stopping any chance of a play to come out from PSG.LGD. Roger's positioning, the amount of times with this reach of the Aether Lens of the cast range talent. You just can't walk in like that because you are going to get hexed. You are going to get shackled.
He got greedy with the BKB. If he had popped it just a little bit sooner, he's able to get those off. But I didn't expect the Shadow Shaman to have that type of range.
Yeah.
But I think they actually had vision of him there, though, because they had that ward down. So.
They did. Meanwhile, XM, he's got the dagger scaled up, but still, as you say, his game has definitely slowed down.
Yeah, it's hard for him to really get into the fights. If he walks in, he just gets isolated, and he's very squishy versus this lineup of VP. Doesn't have, he has a glimmer cape at least to save himself, but if he gets hit procced by like a lucky shot inside of the fights, he has to glimmer and run away for 5 seconds.
I mean, when we see the level 20 on Roger, because of the way he's playing, do you get the extra shackles duration?
Yeah, when you have the BKB. Yeah, when you have the BKB.
This is the way he wants to go.
Yep.
I mean, that's so much lockdown.
There's no way for them. I mean, there's a way for them to stop the BKB shackles, but it's not great. It's the doom.
Tower is under attack.
So he should be able to get pretty consistent shackles. So the rest of his team can get slept from the Ame Naga Siren for the look if they have don't have the follow up.
Look at the glimpse into the Static Storm. Pasha in trouble. BKB's going to be popped by Chalice and Ame. They drop the Doom down as well. There's the second Doom ready to go as well. He's not going to use it on Solo. Solo's just going to be run down by the Naga Siren. Chalice is on top of the Terrorblade, stomping him up. He has that Doom to lay down if he wants, but wants to kill him off at least the first without using it. BKB comes out from RAMZeS. He's going to try and turn, but he doesn't have meta for 50 seconds. Sunder to take the life. He's going to chase down Ame. Jump forward from Roger, but Roger, he's actually the one to get doomed. This Shaman has to try and walk out somehow. They'll turn with the swashbuckle. There's the sleep, the setup from Ame. They'll surround RAMZeS. RAMZeS heads back up to the high ground, reflection out once more. Pasha gets the chance for the primal split. They'll move towards Ame. No one. He's going to roll with the rolling thunder, but he actually gets sort of caught on the cliff. RAMZeS will still continue to chase onto Ame. Another stun comes out from Pasha. They're on top of the Naga Siren. Ame, he's surely going to die past the mirror image, but he cannot escape. Ame, never 90 seconds back in the river. The Serpent Ward's killing off Chalice. He'll get the stop of Roger. The shackles, the reach, the catch. It's 2 dead on PSG.LGD. Both claws dead for 70 plus seconds without buyback. This is VP's time to take more objectives. This bottom, kill that creep. He can't do so in time. Pashes in with the bots. They'll find themselves another Virtus.pro into the base already. They have the siege creeps in. RAMZeS is there. They're going to take at least a set of racks, maybe even more. This is a huge window to work with.
That was beautiful there by Pasha, and RAMZeS, he finds the real Naga with his Sunder, so he's able to drop him down low, and the fight gets real awkward for LGD. They can't actually be able to do enough damage versus this VP lineup.
And he still has that Aegis. They couldn't even kill him the once. We saw, you know, he was saving that second Doom. He didn't want to drop it on the Terrorblade because he had the Aegis, but because he didn't, they weren't able to kill him that once. And now they're losing so much for it. They've lost the ball. And Roger again. The Hex, the Shackles, XM's gone. This Shaman playing out of his mind, Roger. As this mid-Rex, it's going down. The fortification will be popped. They'll have Ame back up in 20 seconds. XM buying back. Jump forwards with the dagger on. They'll try and zap down Roger. They'll get rid of that pesky Shaman, but they may lose heroes for it. FY, he's committed in, has the ult to get back out. They do have to be careful, VP. The full lineup of LGD is going to be back in the game any second. Probably in their best interest to get out of there. No one's going to try, but jump forwards with the Static Storm. They'll get no one.
Oh, FY missed the coil there again. They had to commit forward to get the kill. They do get it anyway, at least.
They've lost so much here, PSG.LGD. 2 sets of racks going down. VP, sure, they lost a couple of casualties at the end of it, but these heroes, they've got buyback, and it's unlikely that's going to get pressured out anyway.
And now they've got, you know, the Brew Primal split was pretty much everything in the fights it seemed to VP. You know, Rolling Thunder in that last fight didn't really do a whole lot. Now he's got it up every single time. Minus 65 second cooldown on to Pasha here.
And RAMZeS sort of walked out of that whole situation with like 9k gold. He just buys a straight up Skadi. As I say, he still has that Aegis. They can still get more done with this.
I mean, that was the hardest swing I've seen in quite a bit. Just that last situation that happened. They weren't able to clean up like anybody. Now so much momentum for VP. And yeah, I can't believe they didn't even have to lose the Aegis.
This is looking to be in a fantastic position now for VP.
They're just doing good at like splitting up. They're never. I'm not seeing them get caught by all these like combo plays. Sure, they got 3-man slept standing on top of each other there, but there was no follow up. LGD, they'd already used all of their spells initially. They're just waiting for the Pango to respawn. They're definitely feeling quite strong here in this one now, as they're about to have an AC finished up as well now too.
And what have we got in Army? I mean, has Army got any sort of crazy items coming out?
And he's just got the he's just six-slotted. He's just hard BKB diffusal manta, just the I mean your standard. Maybe the BKB is not the standard, but your standard Naga Siren carry build.
I mean, it just seems at the moment it's just not enough. Even though he's on the same farm as RAMZeS Terrorblade, you just feel much more of an impact from the sort of speed that RAMZeS gets the damage out and the distance that he can do it from as well.
Yeah. There's a lot of pressure on Chalice, pretty much in this game, just to get these Dooms off. I mean, on Pasha in particular, just such a problem. And with the skill build and the item build from, the item build in particular from Roger, he's just such a nuisance in the fights. He's just constantly getting these long duration shackles, getting this lockdown on crucial heroes.
I mean, is there anything really Arme can swap out? Is the best play to just get the Moon Shard? Is there anything else you could be considering? Or does he? I was
thinking if you wanted something like an Abyssal or some type of lockdown, or maybe even like that Nullifier to prevent something. But I think this is like your cookie cutter Naga build, your standard that you want to have. It's just really about the execution inside of the fights. Can they get the right targets? Can they find Pasha before he gets split off?
RAMZeS, he's got that level 25 now on the Terrorblade.
Which one did he actually?
Which did he take? He went with the left one.
He went the meadow range.
Yeah.
So you were mentioning Yom, but he wants to be distancing himself of the fight. That's going to help even more so. Araname.
Pushing forward on this top lane. RAMZeS, just get the reflection off. PSG.LGD, they have their lineup on the high ground, ready to jump. Still now with the State of the Aegis, of course, has gone. Look at the jump forward, but instantly the Hex is there straight away. The wards are down there. You get the Doom out onto the Terrorblade. RAMZeS is just turning and punching into Arme. Arme sinks the Song of the Siren, but he's taking so much damage from this Terrorblade. The BKB of RAMZeS will wear off, so it'll be held in place for now, but now the chase is on. No one heading him with the Rolling Thunder, held back by FY's Dream Coil. Phase shift to dodge the stun out from Pasha. It's going to be up in the air. Can they control him on the way down? Static Storm's going to be there with the Hex again. Roger locking down FY. FY has to buy back. They'll move it on the side as well. The Shackles holding down X-Nova's Disruptor. No one can he finish off this kill onto X-Nova. He surely can. Back towards the mid. RAMZeS, Sunder, back up to half health. RAMZeS still okay for now. He'll turn towards Chalice. Chalice has been decrepified. Chalice now surrounded by the Sprout. He's dead too. 2 dead on PSG.LGD. No one and Roger went down. They'll buy back for this. There'll also be a buyback from Chalice wanting to keep this fight going. Using the boosted travel. No one gets himself back over to PSG.LGD's half of the map. They know there's no Song. They know there's no BKB. Arme has to be careful. As they'll retreat solo, trying to see if he can catch someone. TPing in, looking for Sprout opportunities. Lays it down on the low ground, won't catch anyone out, but now VP, they can push in. They've got this Metamorphosis, BKB and Satanic back up in a couple of seconds for RAMZeS.
They don't have their Dooms. That was both Dooms used on RAMZeS, and they weren't able to kill him. No one was able to actually get on top of him.
That's what they
couldn't get there in time.
Chalice is trying to move him with the BKB, but this damage output from RAMZeS' Terrorblade is too much. Arme is going to step forward, the BKB for himself back up, but that's XM dead, Chalice dead, VP absolutely doing it here as the Shackles again. Roger locks down FY, the top racks are gone as GG is called. VP take the game and take the series 2-1. They will be the ones to knock PSG.LGD out of the competition.
Pasha and Rod played their hearts out this game. Finding the catches, they seem to always get their ultis off. Like,
yeah.
Did Pasha get doomed? I feel like he rarely, I think maybe once in this game got doomed. He found the perfect situations every time for his split. He was finding and zoning the targets, throwing up the right targets, and he wasn't allowing XM to actually play his hero that well.
No, XM was just out of the game.
He was out of the game in the majority.
He played so well in terms of the pressure he applied early on, but at that late game, he just wasn't a factor at all. And you just saw the little things there. I mean, RAMZeS, of course, once again, a textbook Terrorblade performance from him.